August 25th, Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. Jen, can you please roll call?
Chairman Kempa.
Here.
Commissioner Taman is absent by prior notice. Chairman DeGraff.
Here.
Chairman Patel is absent by prior notice. Chairman Saywert.
Here.
Chairman Simmons.
Here.
And Chairman Weigel is absent.
Commissioners.
That one. Commissioner Weigel is absent.
A lot of chairmans tonight.
A quorum is present.
Okay, so the first order of business is the approval of the meetings from the July 28th, 2022 regular meeting. Are there any corrections to the meeting minutes as presented? If there are none, can I please have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from July 28th?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. First item is old business. We have a PCBA case number 22-15V, 111 Garden Lane.
And this is a
This is it.
continuation, so the chair will have to ask for a motion to
Reopen.
Reopen the meeting.
Yep. So again, the applicant, just for record, is Dariusz Supinski and Agata Szczykowska, 111 Garden Lane. Do I need to call out the nature of
No,
the?
it's just a continuation,
okay.
that's fine.
Can I please have a motion to reopen the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So, Director Peterson, I understand that we have an exhibit that we need to add to the record.
That is correct. As a summary, the Planning Zoning Board of Appeal had asked staff to secure legal opinion from the city attorney regarding the status of this property in terms of being considered legal non-conforming due to the pre-existence, the long-standing time that it's been there, and that previous actions of this department were in keeping with the definition of legal non-conforming of the zoning code. As such, the attorney did supply this. I believe there was a letter from James Hess, Associate Attorney for Tressler, our city attorney, in the file, and he did give the opinion that it was legal non-conforming and the actions as such did not warrant the variation request. And as such, the applicants are here. We will be refunding their zoning board application file in money because it shouldn't have been here in the first place. However, with that determination, it can stay there, it can be maintained in its existing condition, but cannot be expanded upon. But it is there, it's always been there, it can be used as it was. So we will just need them to accept this exhibit into the record. And I don't have my file in front of me, I'm sorry, I just came from
Yes.
Infinite today. Yeah, but I don't have the exhibits list to know what's next.
Yeah, I don't have that either.
No, Jen, she brought the main file, so just bear with me, please, thank you. We'll have to add the legal opinion as exhibit number 9. ZA, that is 8/18/22, legal opinion from Tressler LLP. And we can accept that into the record.
Okay.
So I'll make that motion to accept this letter from the attorney as exhibit number 9.
I'll make
to the
it.
file.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Do we need to roll, or can we?
Yes, an actual roll call is necessary, please.
Jen, can I please have a roll call?
Commissioner Simmons.
Aye.
Commissioner DeGraff.
Aye.
Commissioner Saywert.
Aye.
Chairman Kempa.
Aye. So-
with that,
We could close it, right?
we can close the public hearing.
No questions from the applicant, I'm assuming?
Where's
All right. Okay. Can I please have a motion to close public hearing number 22-15V?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So, based on legal opinion, this should not have had a zoning hearing. On sometime the week of September 12th, in that week, a check will be mailed to you for the refund of the application fee, less the newspaper article, or the newspaper ad, but everything else will be sent. Okay? Thank you for your patience,
Thank you.
and thank you for doing some homework to show the age of the conditions of the property.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Continuing on, we do not have any new business. No public here. Can we please have a application updates?
All right, there will be no PZBA meeting next month for lack of an application, so you get the month of September off. Last week, the city council approved the variation for 41 South Wildwood with the conditions. They also approved the special use permit for Lily's Tamales.
Oh,
Raving compliments in words. The other application was deemed a first read only, and we'll be back on September 12th for final deliberation. Wingstop, Jets Pizza, they're in for permit as we speak. We just got we just sent out our first review comments, so they should be coming in shortly. Space Cat Tattoo is under remodeling.
Okay.
Their architect did a really good job on plan submittal. Bar Salado is, got some additional revisions today, so hopefully that'll start construction soon.
Barcelona is the one.
At Nico's.
Nikos,
Lorraine
yes,
Thomas.
yes.
Update, Lily's Tamales submitted for their building permit already, so they're moving along rapidly. And then, the cell tower is up and operational, as with the design changes approved by city council. So,
So is the tower supposed to sway as much as it does?
it meets the tolerances of the engineered design, according to their engineers and our engineers. I didn't expect it to have this way, but I also expected that to have, if I remember correctly, they testified that they thought that the shroud would have air vents through, so it wasn't and I called them and I said, well, this is the design that the my engineers for Crown and Castle and the owners of the tower came back with. So it is in general conformance with the approved design, so therefore,
And is that the final color?
it's supposed to blend in with the clouds. And actually, today when I walked
Today it kinda
outside,
sort of
I
did.
couldn't see it.
Today it did. On the sunny day, it
As long
did
as
not.
It does not, I
As
understand
long as there's no
completely.
blue sky.
Correct, but we have not performed a final inspection, and I have a call scheduled for next week with the representatives from Crown Castle, because I do have some concerns on the sway, and I do have concerns on the color. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be more of a gray
Mhm.
tint,
Mhm.
but that base antenna was white to begin with,
Mhm.
so I think they matched the color of the base antenna. So, other than that,
What was the one on Garden Lane, or,
oh, thank you for bringing that up, I forgot.
the one?
113. The resident did reach out to ComEd and AT&T and received written authorizations to do improvements in that easement. So he came in about a week ago, provided those easements, and I said, well, here's what you need to do then. We can now treat your property as a 5-foot setback. So if you remove all the bricks and all the improvements along that 5 feet, then you don't have to try and fight a negative recommendation. And he gave me a letter in writing on yesterday, said he agrees with that, and we'll be removing that and conform with the 5-foot setback. So that case will be closed for owner withdrawal.
And all the other, like the back lean-to was gonna be taken off?
Yes.
And everything else is
he-
gonna be brought into
He
compliance?
did apply for an actual permit, which he can have for up to 200 square feet to take down the back and actually have an additional. He did get his plans in for the roof overhang and the fireplace, so he is in compliance with all his permits right now.
Great.
That's fine.
And how about Allstate?
Allstate is formally and officially Glenview, and we de-annexed the property about a month ago, pending final approvals. There's still some final signatures coming on. As a result of the negotiated settlement, the city will receive a minimum of $280,000 a year as a base payment, and then 18% of the property taxes and any sales taxes forever on the property, as long as that property is in Glenview.
Sales tax.
Yeah, if there's a user that has sales tax, because there's about 60 acres of potentially developable land.
Oh, I thought you meant the Amazon sales.
No, I wish those, if it was like an app, which they had the corporate point and delivery, then the sales tax would be an issue. But because a logistics distribution center, the point of sale goes back to where the click was made, not where the shipment was made. So, during the issues, Glenview had challenged our ability to annex all their territories to some old intergovernmental agreements. We had a different legal opinion, but at the end of the day, Glenview said they did want to have that development. They would agree to move on a fast track to get it approved, which surprisingly, they've done that. They followed through on all that. Some of their public hearings were contentious, but they were able to persevere and got all their final approvals. But there is a 6B request for tax abatement through Cook County, which is for the first 12 years, and that's why our dollar amount was there. But when that's done, it goes up and we get 18%. And there's our 32 acres, we disconnected another 26 that was our future annexable territory. So roughly, it comes to about 23% of the territory of the whole project, and at the end of the day, we will collect way more than that percentage, and not have to do anything. Now, the hard part with that is we basically are now completely landlocked. Our last large potential developable site is gone. On the other hand, if we would have kept it, it would have generated very minimal property taxes to us. It would have been primarily one-time permit revenue fees and those types of things, due to the way our city is structured, of not being able to levy a corporate property tax for governmental operations. So at the end of the day, we would have there would have been future potential should the citizens have ever decided they wanted to vote for home rule. And we could have levied a tax, then we could have used that. Or if the state ever changed the rules, but with that development, really, it wasn't gonna be the huge tax generator, because it would have been primarily the uses were industrial, logistics, trucking, that really, okay, so we get some vehicle stickers, we get some other stuff, but the substantial finances really weren't there.
Mhm.
So I think for the health and long-term benefit of the city, this was a good deal that the council agreed to. That being said, we are going to have to, in October, we will be coming forward with some map and text amendment language because we lost our only office in the O1 district, and that happened to be where our adult use language is, and by, to be compliant with the law, we cannot zone out adult uses because it's protected by the First Amendment of the Constitution. So we are working on some language. Would the likelihood ever come to Prospect Heights? No. Okay, and we're completely built out, but you cannot have no zoning for those uses, and that's been established by case law in Illinois and in federal.
Mhm.
So we're gonna be looking at some minor map changes, possibly creation of a new sub-zoning district, and some other language.
And the big development, how is that?
Lexington?
Lexington, yes.
They're still in negotiation with the owner. So we've been told that the owner, they're supposed to have an agreement and closing date scheduled by the end of the month. As of 1st of August, we were told they were still negotiating, still talking, but haven't heard anything since.
Okay.
Did the Park District come to an agreement of how they were going to be?
100% of all the intergovernmental agreements and documents have been signed and executed. The only thing that is outstanding, that's left, is the owner to execute the deal with Lexington, and Lexington to come back with their final development plan.
Nice.
So that's where we're at.
And that's to obtain the permit.
It'll be the final development approval by council, because we've
okay.
done the preliminary plat, we did the preliminary development plan, we did that, so by ordinance, before construction starts, they have to get council approval on the final, what the final plan's gonna look like, then they'll be eligible to come for permits.
Okay, got it.
and all that good stuff.
Great.
So, that's about what I know today.
Can I ask a question on legal non-conforming?
Yeah.
So if it's legal non-conforming and they want, let's say they want to like tear it up and put a new driveway in, do they have to come to us and say,
Here, if they leave it alone, and they're fine. If they, like, 2 years ago, in 2020, when they bought the property, they came in the city building department, issued them a permit to resurface it, because the driveway is old. I viewed it in the review, it was platted, the date of the plat was in 2002, I think. I looked at it, as okay, long-standing. I couldn't find any record showing that it had never had a permit, but it, 20 years it's been used and that it hasn't changed. So we issued a permit for them to resurface, tear it off and resurface. That's fine, because the code allows to be able to maintain but you can't increase the non-conforming. If they ever wanted to come in and get rid of it and go back to grass, okay, great, but then they can never reestablish it without coming before this board. The other applicant on that block, the big difference in the cases is he had a permit, and he chose he didn't want to follow the permit and self-created his hardship. We have some houses, we have lots of houses that were platted under the county rules with only 10-foot side yard setbacks.
Right.
We've got lots of houses that I think whoever did the engineering and the platting of them couldn't read a tape measure. We have some properties in town that are substantial. They meet the lot size, but they missed on the lot width, but when they were developed, they were allowed to build because they had the 20,000 acres, but they were 95 feet wide instead of the 100 feet, little things like that, which then make it difficult on setbacks and those things, so.
So if that house burns down and it's only 95 feet, are they automatically allowed to rebuild, or do they have to just go for a variance?
My past experience in another town is if it was deemed to be compliant, because it wasn't legal non-conforming at the time, but it was allowed to be built with that lot originally under permit, it can be replaced. It's not supposed to be enlarged, so there's some issues there.
I just run into it every day, I was just wondering.
Well, I know.
Because every town is different, I just was wondering,
Um,
like City of Chicago, 50% unintentionally destroyed, can't be rebuilt most of the time without
Correct.
going through all
But a lot of times when you have things like 95 foot, where are they gonna gain 5 feet? You know, in most cases, it's not there, so you have to take a look at was the permit for the original house legally issued? And as long as it doesn't expand the nonconformity.
Did they do permits, like, my house was built in 39, did they do permits back then and stuff, or?
you know what,
County.
the county did and all the
That's right,
county.
we weren't even a city, right?
All the county did was a layout of setbacks and distance from septic and well, which made it very difficult. Thank you guys for your attendance tonight.
Mhm.
That's all I have.
Any other communications? Can I please have a motion to adjourn at 7:27 PM?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all.